So, as we approach the international break where Scotland are going to begin their World Cup qualification campaign against Denmark and Belarus, Steve Clarke has announced his squad for these qualifiers, and we're going to go through it and we're going to see what we think of the players selected. But on quick glance, there is some still baffling decisions, but hey ho. First of all, if you are new around here, please consider checking out some of the other content on the channel. Mostly Scottish football content, whether it's actual match reactions, predictions, and or SPFL RTG for FC25 and up and coming FC26 as well. That's on the channel, as well as some other gaming content and wrestling content. If you're interested in that, please consider checking that out, liking and subscribing. But without further ado, let's get into the squad that he's selected. Starting off with the goalkeepers. I mean, given our current goalkeeping situation, there isn't really any surprises there, with Zander Clark, Angus Gunn and Liam Kelly being the three selected. Of course, Kieran Slicker had a really awful international break last time around. We did have some goalkeeper injuries, which meant that Ross Doohan was called up. Yes, he did alright in the second game, but it wasn't exactly a hard one in reality. So I don't think there's any surprises there, with Craig Gordon currently being injured as well. So nothing really to say about the goalkeeping situation. On to the defenders. I mean, Grant Hanley, seriously, come on. What on earth is he doing there? Couldn't get a game for Birmingham last season. Yes, now he's at Hibs, but I mean, he shouldn't be anywhere near a Scotland squad now, and he's probably going to start him. It's absolutely ridiculous. Good to see Jack Hendry back in the fold. I think he'd picked up an injury that was keeping him out of contention, or Steve Clarke, for whatever reason, just wasn't picking him, so good to see him there. Really good to see Aaron Hickey back in the fold, of course. Arguably our best right-back option, and he's been missing for a long time because of his injury, so really good to see him back in the fold. Happy to see his name there. Dom Hyam, I'm going to be honest, not really seeing too much of him, but it can't be worse than Grant Hanley. Max Johnson should probably be the number 2, you would say, to Aaron Hickey, so good to see his name there too. Scott McKenna has had a really good start to life in Croatia, apparently, so that is one name that probably should be on the team sheet, you would say. Tony Ralston, I mean, he should be third choice right back if he's there, to be honest, and probably should be Callum Patterson over Tony Ralston, in all honesty. Andy Robertson's the captain. He's always going to get picked, despite the fact that I don't really rate him in a Scotland shirt, so that one isn't really a surprise. John Souttar, not really a great start to the season for Rangers. Personally, I would prefer Ryan Porteous as the option over John Souttar, but it appears to me that Ryan Porteous has kind of been exiled from the Scotland squad ever since that red card against Germany. However, I would prefer John Souttar over Grant Hanley any day of the week, so, you know, if he's going to be there, he should be over Grant Hanley 100%. Kieran Tierney kind of speaks for itself. He's the best defensive option we've got, in my opinion. Whether or not he plays left back on his own, or he reverts back to the back 5 and Tierney plays left side, back 3 there. So, but for me, he should be starting either way. He's our best defensive option that we have in the national team. Onto our midfield, which is, again, our most stacked area, and I can't believe there's one here. I'll get to him in a minute. Ryan Christie, good to see him back, of course. He returned from injury for Bournemouth at the weekend. Lewis Ferguson, obviously, speaks for himself. Ben Gannon Doak, now that as he wants to be known, obviously a really, what's the word I'm looking for, our superstar of the squad for the future. He definitely needs to be involved whenever he can to get the width. Billy Gilmore, again, speaks for itself. John McGinn as well. But this guy, Kenny McLean, I mean, really? He's been injured for Norwich for a start. How you're picking him over Ryan Gauld, I don't know. And again, why on earth is he anywhere near a Scotland squad now? Him and Grant Hanley shouldn't be anywhere near Scotland squads now. There's no point in including them. And he'll probably start both against Denmark, which is absolutely ludicrous in my opinion. And looking at that squad, of course, Scott McTominay speaks for itself, are arguably our best player at the moment, and Lennon Miller, good to see him included again as well. If he was still at Motherwell, would he included him? I don't know. But looking at that, it looks like we're either going to play one of the forward players out wide if Doak plays. I mean, with the way that he is, he might not even start Doak with Gannon Doak, which is unbelievable to think because he's our best attacking outlet by a mile. But if he does start him, then it means that probably Ryan Christie or John McGinn or Scott McTominay is going to play out wide when you could have had Ryan Gauld out wide. I mean, in my opinion, we need to call up another winger anyway if we're going to play with Ben Doak just to get that width. Best option at the moment in terms of experience would be James Forrest, but you really don't want him in terms of age. Finlay Curtis has started really well for Rangers, so at least give him a run out, see how he gets on, particularly against Belarus. But we need another winger on the other side, in my opinion. But Kenny McLean shouldn't be anywhere near that Scotland squad. And on to the forwards, Shea Adams. As much as he's been hot and cold for Scotland, he has scored, so that's not too much of a surprise. Really glad to see Kieran Bowie with the start to the season that he's had for Hibs. You would think that one was one that people were clamouring for to be called up, and he has been. I would like him to start, but we'll see how Steve Clarke decides to go there. Lyndon Dykes, again, no real surprise with that one. He suits the system that Clarke likes to play, with hoofing the ball up and flicking it on for other people or laying it off for other people. George Hurst, I mean, I'd have preferred Lawrence Shankland, personally, in terms of a goal scorer. But, for me, George Hurst should be fourth choice there, 100%, which means he's probably going to be the one that Clarke starts. I really hope that we get off to a good start, but it all depends on how well the team clicks. He needs to pick the right 11. If Grant Hanley or Kenny McLean are anywhere near the starting 11 against Denmark, my confidence levels are going to drop tremendously, but it is what it is. I mean, hopefully this is the last Scotland squad that we see them involved in, 100%. That's going to do it for the reaction to the Scotland squad. Thank you very much for watching. If you are new around here, please consider checking out some of the other content on the channel. I will have the prediction video for Celtic, Rangers, Hibs and Aberdeen's European escapades up later on today. So if you are new around here, consider subscribing for that, and I'll catch you in the next one.